There's been lots of chatter about what the Phillies are going to do, who they're going to move, who they will not move. Now that we've heard more rumors and potential trades that have been proposed and free agency has been buzzing, who do you anticipate really are the top, I'd say 2 or 3 targets for the Phillies this offseason that's realistic, that makes sense for them, that you anticipate they are actively going to pursue?
Targets that they're going to bring in. So
Yes.
I think they would like to, shore up the back end of the bullpen, a closer spot. They've kind of been reluctant to name a closer in recent years. They've had a few different guys that can do it. I wonder if this is the year if they can get that right guy where they say, here, you take the ball. So, it could be a Tanner Scott. It could be on a free agent. It could be a Clay Holmes as a free agent. I still think they're going to look to bring back Estevez if that's possible. Or it could be, they can't fill all their needs this winter by writing checks. They're going to have to make a trade.
Yeah.
And they do have a desire to shake things up a little bit. So I could see a trade coming. That could be for Helsley in St. Louis. Could be for Devin Williams. I think that would be something. I think that's something they're targeting is a closer, a lockdown guy late in the game. And those are the type of guys that I would have my eye on. I'm not sure if any one of them stands out ahead of another guy for them. But those are the type, and they need more production in left field. They need more offensive production. You could very well platoon in center field with Marsh and Rojas if you had to. Give it some run, but I would like to get a bat in left field. Tyler O'Neill's a guy that I've kind of long liked and I think could profile here. But like a lot of guys, he too has had some injury history and not always stayed on the field. So it's certainly they have needs, and filling them is an inexact science. But I do think we're going to start seeing some movement here around the winter meetings. It's time to press the clutch and shift gears and get something going.
Jim, on the heels of that closer discussion, do they internally view Orion as a guy that can eventually be that? What's their kind of? Do they think he can be that big time back end like closer? And I know that term is kind of a weird one anymore, but
wouldn't you envision him as that someday?
I would think so. Yeah, I mean that sweeper's nasty and he throws gas. I wonder, I guess more like what is the timeline if they struck out on say Scott, Helsley, Williams? Is it nowish, like a year from now? Like how do you think they view that?
I think the timeline will be determined by him getting outs and the ease in which he gets out and the area or the pocket of the game where he gets out. If they're high leverage, you're going to continue to earn high leverage opportunities, and eventually you could ascend to the back of the bullpen. So, but if they go out and get a Helsley, a Williams, a Scott, that guy's probably going to be closing out of the gate. But I'll tell you what, seventh and eighth inning are huge as well. And you can demoralize the opposing team in the seventh and eighth inning, and actually in some cases get the business outs of the game before handing off to the closer. So as long as Kerkering's getting big outs late in the game, he's going to have a lot of value. And certainly he has the ingredients to become a closer eventually. Could it be 2025? Sure. Maybe they don't bring in a guy who's a tried and true closer. Maybe it's guys that, can bounce around 7, 8, 9, and then all of a sudden now it's who kind of fits in what role and who gets some momentum and gets the ball rolling. Those are the guys Rob Thompson goes with. But Kerkering is he's a good one, and he's got a lot of value, and he's getting better, and he's got the stuff, and it seems like he has the toughness and the mentality to handle the back end, handle the ninth inning. But like I said, I think 7, 8, 9 are all very, very important. You can build a hell of a team if you have some real shutdown arms in those 3 spots.